and you have brought up multiple times like how startups are tough. So, like these days, or in the recent past at least, I have observed that young folks want to start a startup just for the sake of it being glamorous.
Correct.
So, I want to know, like, what are the struggles you have faced bootstrapping your startup, and like, what is it to be behind the scenes? What is it past that glamour?
Uh, so see, I guess this particular question needs a different session, like 1 hour discussion stuff. There are a lot of stuff, trust me, like there are a lot
Mhm.
of things. And we have, as I told you, like we have seen a lot of low times, like struggling with a lot of stuff. You are doing stuff, but you're not getting the results, so it always like bothers you, right? Why this is not working, why did we miss out, so I would like to make a great point, and that is credibility. Credibility really matters. Your tag really matters, trust me. Okay,
Mhm.
your tags really matters. So what I would request to every college students, if you're actually trying to do something, okay, or maybe you have a plan to go and start up in the future, or maybe after college or anything, please go and be associated with startup. Please just go pick any startup. Okay, just find way to get in. That's it. Okay, don't think
Mhm.
about money and stuff. A lot of people will tell you now, like internship, it should give you good money and stuff. That is bullshit. Trust me. If you're hungry for learning, you just get in. Okay, our team in Fueler, we have a lot of folks. They just came up on their own, and they are so passionate about learning. They really want to experience how startups are like. And we love working with them. We love sharing our ideas and how things are. Whenever we have this discussion, we share we share how this week was, what we achieved in this week, and a lot of other discussion, like what would be doing in the next week and stuff. So like this sort of understanding, or say this sort of discussion, will automatically like elevate your thinking process, trust me. So like I even made a video on this, like my latest published video on YouTube is this only, like why go and work in a startup. So this is also one of my mistake I did in my college life. I should have I should have like taken this serious, go and work with startup. Maybe connect with them, getting some way to just connect with them and see how things are like. Because that way you'll be learning a lot. See, what I say, like startup is like 20 year of journey compressed into 5 years, right? So imagine the kind of like growth you will have, right? So that is the
Mhm.
easiest way to understand, right? If you can take this pressure, like you'll be different person, say in a 3 month or 6 month. Okay, so if you say like about the hard part, and there are so many things, like rejections, and like Fueler, we grew like first 1,000 users just by DMing people. We just went there, we asked everyone, just texting each one of them, customizing our message and send them, like,
Mhm.
hey, like we created this tool, would you be using it, or give us a feedback about this. So they were like, there were a lot of people, they were really kind, but 90% of them never replied back, so that's totally fine. But currently they connect, they connect with us, and they share their thing, so that
Exactly,
is
exactly.
totally fine. That is totally fine, we understand, because I told you, right? Credibility, it's about credibility. See, if you're someone with
True.
very less follower on social media, it will always like make the other person doubt your credibility, right? Who's this person? Why should I give them time? Why should I trust you? So that is not their fault, what
True.
I see. So there are very less people who would actually pay attention to, they don't care about your numbers. There are very less people, but actually this thing really matters. Your social capital really matters. If you have great
Hmm.
following on Twitter, or say any platform, okay, it really helps you. Okay, it really helps you, because like we have seen the changes. So previously it took some other, like maybe we have done say like 10 messages. Okay, we have done 10 messages and got reply. Well, currently we just send out one message, and we get the reply. And why is that? Because that is what credibility is all about, right? Yeah. And apart from this, like there are so much decision fatigue, like decision fatigue, like every time you are taking decisions, like micro decisions, like we should do that or not, we should do that or not. And being a bootstrap
Hmm.
startup, like you have very limited resources, trust me. Because if you have some sort of say funding and anything, you can experiment a lot. For us, every experiment cost you, right? Every experiment will cost you money. Okay, especially the money
True,
and
true.
time, right? So we have to decide, like we have to make the decision, like at a very fast pace. We have to understand the market and everything. So you can say that thing came up like in the team from reading a lot of books, books and say like articles and stuff. We read a lot. Our team reads a lot, because insights is super important. Insights are super important when you're building a startup. right?
True,
As I
true.
told you, right, startups are something new you're trying to do in the market, right? So you have to always have the understanding about the world, how the market is going, how everybody is reacting. And say suppose you got a DM, you got a say message, someone may be complaining, so you need to have that understanding how to respond to that. So you need to have that worldview of what I should do so that the other person responds like that other person is happy with what we are applying. So as I told you,
Mm-hmm.
like, there are so many decisions that you have to take on a daily basis in a startup, and I guess this happens to every team. They go through this thing, where they have to decide, they have to take a lot of decisions, micro decisions. So yeah, this is pretty much from my end. And doing and what to do next, I guess defining the scope, that was one of the hardest part for us, because I started working on this side of my college, and like having experience, I guess, plays a very great role here, where you have this understanding of scope of work, scope, like, with scope I mean is, what I mean is, like, you at least know what to do, right? So for example, when you have a manager, right, they tell you, right, ki, hey, like, you,
Hmm.
you have this task, just get this done, okay, and you do it. But in a startup, you're the person picking yourself up and taking you forward, right? So you have to define the scope, right? You have to list them down. Okay, these are the things that are going to work. Okay, after I'm getting this done, okay, what are the results that I'm getting, right? Again, deciding based on that the next day what I'm going to do, right? So you have to decide the scope, and not just for yourself, for the team, and say, like, a lot of other stakeholders in the team, right?